speak up a tad, please?
Try to speak up a tad. When I first addressed you after the bond hearing, I talked about how there were 9 victims, but we were one Charleston. After that, I learned that we actually had 12 victims. There were 3 survivors. But what we have shown and what these victims have shown is that we are one Charleston and one South Carolina. And I couldn't be more honored to serve and to serve the folks that we have been working with. This prosecution, this investigation was a joint effort, first started by Chief Mullen in the Charleston Police Department, who is a wonderful leader and who has led us through some trying times. Very quickly, Chief Peel and state law enforcement was involved and provided much needed resources to the city and to us. And we are very grateful to them and their efforts. And of course, the FBI came along very quickly as well and worked together to bring justice in this case. Our mission today was to secure an insurance policy for the federal conviction. Our mission today and over the past few weeks since the federal government obtained the death penalty was to see what we could do to ensure the surest path to Dylann Roof's execution. And that path has now been realized with the transfer of jurisdiction and custody of Dylann Roof to the feds, with us securing a life sentence just in case, in the very, very, very unlikely event that something were to happen to the federal conviction. We have our conviction in place. I don't think that it'll be necessary, but just in case, we have that. And all of this, again, was possible through the coordinating and joint efforts of the city law enforcement, the state law enforcement, and our federal partners just across the street. As you know, last summer, I was vocal about the prospect of having to have 2 death penalty trials. I was very concerned about that, but things have changed since last summer, and that is why we reached the decision that we reached in withdrawing the death penalty and securing life sentences against Dylann Roof. The first thing that changed was the Department of Justice, who I believe now is more committed to the death penalty than has been in the past. I believe that the death sentence in this case will actually be implemented, and with the change in administration, I think we are more likely to see that. The other thing that happened was I actually had the opportunity to attend the trial, or at least have members of my staff attend the federal trial and watch firsthand what happened, to see what issues were raised, how they addressed those issues, what the court did. And I can tell you without question, the federal prosecutors, the assistant United States attorneys did exceptional work. Judge Gergel was a steady hand and a steady guiding force in that trial, and it gave me great comfort and great confidence in the work that they did to feel like that this conviction and this sentence in federal court will stick. But the third thing that was a consideration in our decision here today was the inability at this point for South Carolina to actually carry out the death penalty. It may be in the future that we are able to secure the drug that's used for executions, but it's not our present. If South Carolina and the state courts were the only option for pursuing the death penalty, I would have pursued it. But because we have a death sentence in place now, I do not believe it's necessary. And then, of course, the final reason that we made this decision was the victims themselves. In attending the federal trial, I had an opportunity to talk with many of the victims on many occasions about our next steps. I received letters, telephone calls of support in withdrawing the death penalty. It was a gut-wrenching time for them, and I know for you in the media who actually covered it. I myself, of course, knew the facts of the case,
Scarlett, it's your sense then that most of the family members of the victims did not want a second trial. They were happy with a guilty plea. Is that correct?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we had these discussions right next door while there were deliberations going on and then after the verdicts. And some reached out to me in writing, some verbally. But now, that said, if I had elected to go forward, they would have been right there with me. They have been supportive of everything we've done, of everything the federal prosecutors have done. They have said, you all are the professionals, you know how to handle the court system, handle it, we're with you. However, if we could avoid the trial, they wanted to avoid it. And I think that, it's a learning process, especially for lay people who aren't involved in the system, to see and to understand that our having a trial with all of the evidentiary issues, with all of the unexpected things that just happen in any given trial, the only thing a trial would have done would have been create issues for the federal conviction and the federal sentence next door. I didn't want to do that. They certainly didn't want that to happen. Anybody else?
Good afternoon. My name is Malcolm Graham. I'm a former state senator from North Carolina, and my sister was Cynthia Graham Hurd. Today, our long family journey has finally come to an end. Justice has been served. We would like to thank the solicitor for her hard work, her dedication. She was right there from the very start. We want to thank law enforcement, the Charleston Police Department, SLED, and all those officers and first responders who were there right from the very start. The victim advocates who have assisted the families in federal court as well as here in state court for their warm support, their grace, their understanding of what happened and being there for not only my family, but all the families during this trying time in our tragedy. We said from the very start that I would speak out for my sister, Cynthia Graham Hurd. She was my big sister. She was a librarian in this community for some 31 years. She worked at the Charleston College of Charleston for 16 years. She was my buddy. And when she died that day, some 2 years ago, I made a commitment then, and I make it today, that I will always stand up and speak out for her, and speak out for what was right and honest and true. This is a sad story, a tragedy in itself. Going to church, worshiping God, coming out dead because of hatred and racism and discrimination. That is not who Cynthia was. She believed in love and hope and bringing the community together. So I want to thank this community for just showing just that by demonstrating love and support and coming together as one. It doesn't mean that we all forgive. I don't. Forgiveness is a process. It's a journey, and I'm not there yet. But I'm here for Cynthia, and my brother Melvin stands beside me because this is the community that we love. Born and raised in Charleston, I understand its heritage and its history. I understand the significance of Emmanuel AME Church, being a member there for some 50 years. My mother and grandmother and Cynthia and Jackie and Melvin saying our Easter speeches there and getting baptized there and unfortunately going to homegoing service there for Cynthia and my mom and my father. But today, the sun is bright, Cynthia is smiling down because she believed in justice, justice for all, and justice was served today. Thank you very much.
Mr. Graham, quick question for you. Prosecutor Wilson decided against seeking the death penalty. Are you happy with that?
I'm extremely happy with the process that started right from the very start. Matter of fact, we spoke early in this process, and I supported the death penalty. She did too. Circumstances has led us way to where we are today. I think she did a fine job. We understand the politics of what's happening here, and we also understand the human nature of the sacrifices that the families have made. And I only can speak for myself, but the federal lawyers and prosecutors did an outstanding job. We clearly understand that the end goal was for him to seek the ultimate punishment, which is death, which was rendered by the federal courts. So I concur with her decision. I think we're on the right path to, again, seeking justice.
And you say that you have not forgiven Dylann Roof for what he did to your sister and the other victims.
Forgiveness is a process. If my sister was walking across the street, if she was hit by a distracted driver, and that driver said, "Oh God, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do this. I didn't wake up in the morning with the intent of killing anyone," forgiveness can come. This was calculated. This was premeditated. So I do not. I hope that God will give me the strength to one day to come to that point. But no, justice needs to be served. It was rendered in the federal courts. It was rendered here today. And God have mercy on this soul.
Mr. Graham, obviously many of the victims' family members spoke in court today. We also heard from Mr. Roof's grandfather. What was your takeaway from what he happened to say?
I just ignored it, and he didn't say much.
He said that he did offer an apology saying we're sorry. Is that something you will accept?
Well, he also said he wanted to hold his grandson. I can't help my sister.
Chief, you want to say something?
Senator Malloy.
Good afternoon. I'm Gerald Malloy. I serve in the Senate. I'm actually from Darlington County. I served with Senator Pinckney during his service in the Senate since 2002. I was here on the night back in June. One of the first faces that I saw was Chief Mullen. One of the people that I talked to on the way down here was Chief Hill. And we landed here on that night, and I've been here involved with this matter since that time. I first want to thank them, the law enforcement community, for the work that they did. From that point on, it's been a year and 10 months now. You all know Senator Pinckney. He was a good man, good, decent man. Was a good shepherd of the church. Today, Mrs. Pinckney was not present. The children were not present when his father was here, and some other support. Mrs. Pinckney had us to end up submitting a statement to the court. She has been through a lot since that time. She lost her mom during this process, probably last May. And Joe Neal, Representative Joe Neal, who was actually Clemente's best friend in the General Assembly, we lost him just a short while ago. And so it's been a tough year and a half for her and the children. The children are growing up. She has great responsibility, and I came here to represent them. I think that the question that will become apparent is that what about the result today? I'm a lawyer, have been a lawyer for well over 25 years. I would just say before your questions that it's a fitting result. I was there for the federal trial. It was with great admiration that I watched the federal team put the case together. They did a good job. I know the defense team very well in the federal case and here in the state case. I know the prosecution team in both. I think they all work very diligently to represent the interests of all the citizens here and to end up seeking justice. I would just say this as well. Clemente was a kind soul. We miss his leadership. He loved everyone, and I think that obviously the work that's been done around this state and around this community is pretty much sort of similar to what him would have us to end up doing. So I want to thank you all for covering the trials and all these matters in a fair and responsible way. Obviously, it's great toughness that you have to end up doing, putting out the truth, but it was a heinous act. These people that were murdered senselessly could not have been more opposite than the perpetrator. And I think that what happens is that now they have shown tremendous grace during this whole process. And I hope that everyone finds peace, including the defendant's family, the victim's family, and everyone. To a question that's obviously come, Mr. Roof is a lawyer over in the Richland County area. He used to be president of the Richland County Bar. Obviously, I don't think he started off well today because it was a hearing that was very sensitive. But I don't know if we expect anything else from a grandfather who really is hurting as well. But he also did say in the end that he was sorry. And he also said that he thought it was a just result. And I think that from that, it took a lot of courage to end up doing that. This process has been tedious and hard. It's good to get this part of the process over. Obviously, the people that I represent, they entrusted the prosecution team to end up putting the case together. I know that someone said, well, what are your beliefs? What is going on? I think that understanding the federal system, understanding the state system, the transfer of jurisdiction, the transfer of custody as it relates to the defendant, obviously, this is a fitting result. Thank you.
That's everybody. You know, one thing that Mr. Roof's grandfather said that I'm not sure was caught by everyone, but I think is very important. He said that he felt justice had been served in this case. That justice was the death penalty. I think that's something we all need to remember. I also, again, can't say it enough that while there were 12 victims, we all won Charleston, we all won South Carolina, and we are not Dylann Roof. Thank you.
Prosecutors following Dylann Roof's plea hearing, the now 23-year-old pleaded guilty in court today to his 13 state charges, including murder. We have live team coverage outside the county courthouse. Bill Sharp starting off our coverage tonight. Bill?
Debbie, today our long family journey has finally come to an end. Those are the words of Malcolm Graham. He is the brother of Cynthia Graham Hurd, one of the 9 victims at Mother Emanuel. After the court hearing today, and after the judge said over and over, life in prison for count 1, life in prison for count 2, he did that on and on and on. After that, there was a news conference that Prosecutor Scarlett Wilson held, and I asked her, I said, Prosecutor Wilson, did you decide not to have a trial this time in order to spare the family going through another trial? Here's what she told me.
They have been supportive of everything we've done, of everything the federal prosecutors have done. They have said, you all are the professionals, you know how to handle the court system, handle it, and we're with you. However, if we could avoid the trial, they wanted to avoid it.
Prosecutor Scarlett Wilson. Now, we also were in the courtroom today when the grandfather of Dylann Roof made an appearance. Let's get more on that now and find out exactly what he said.
Bill, this is the first time that someone on behalf of Dylann Roof spoke in either his state and also his federal trial. Now, as we mentioned, his grandfather, Joe Roof, was the only person to make a statement on behalf of Dylann Roof. Now, he is a former attorney, and he gave a statement in court today and gave his sympathies to the families in the courtroom. He said all those families are in their prayers every single day since that night on June 17th of 2015.
What happened here, I will never understand. I will go to my grave not understanding what happened. Only I know that I've lost a grandson that I love very much, and likely today is the last time I will ever see him.
Now, in a post-hearing news conference, I asked the brother of Cynthia Graham Hurd about those comments made by Mr. Roof. He says he tried to ignore him during that hearing and said that what he had to say really didn't matter to him. He also said that he's working towards the path of forgiveness when it comes to the younger Roof. Bill?
Karina Bolster. Karina, thank you. Dylann Roof will now be in federal custody. He will serve his time at a federal prison, perhaps in Terre Haute, Indiana, until and unless the death penalty is carried out. Now, the feds haven't executed anybody in a long time, so we'll just have to wait and see if that death penalty against Dylann Roof will be carried out at the federal level. At the county courthouse in Charleston, I'm Bill Sharp. Debbie, back to you.
Bill, thank you very much.